Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Women must change to fight sex trafficking. It is a must. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting. And I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life transform. No matter what happened, no matter whose fault it was, today is a new day, and your time to live and be free is now. Join me in this journey to wholeness. Your time for total healing is now. Today you shall recover. Wholeness, healness, and peacefulness is in the mind. That is where all battles for life end and begin. The next session of our discussion of sex trafficking will be presented in 3 parts. This information cannot be delivered in an hour's time. The session is entitled Women Must Change to Fight Sex Trafficking. The presentation will be voiced December the 21st, December the 28th, and January the 4th. It is important that every woman realize the subject of sex trafficking affects us all. It is not just taking place in some backwater country. Sex trafficking is occurring in our country at an alarming rate, and we must deal with it or it will overwhelm us in the future. There is a book series entitled Women of Courage that can help us change and help us meet the challenge of fighting against sex trafficking. We will discuss this book series during the 3 presentations and how it can be used to help us change. The last time we spoke, we said that you could not fight the sex traffickers if you did not know how to fight or if you did not know how to advocate for yourself. And we spoke about looking into someone else's garden. Some of this information I am going to discuss again because it is very, very important. This information needs to be repeated so you can reevaluate your role in society. I do not think I did a good enough job last time explaining everything to you since I only had an hour for the discussion. It is very hard to cover various subjects comprehensively in just an hour. There is so much that is left out. Number 1, you have to know how to fight, how to conduct a campaign against evil, both physically and mentally. The only way you can do this is to learn new information. Learning new information requires a change in your behavior. And how often does one obtain new information? By reading and listening. There are questions you have to ask yourself. How close are you going to get to the subject of sex trafficking? Are you going to get your feet wet? Are you going to take a look at actual victims? To do this, you must know something about yourself. That is correct. Getting to know a victim means you're going to get to know yourself. Empathy and understanding are needed. Not just how you speak to a rape victim, how you talk to a domestic violence victim. In fact, do you know how to speak to a victim at all? More than just saying, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Thirdly, do you have sufficient information in your arsenal to fight the enemy? How does one carry the fight to an invisible enemy? Number one, you have to draw him out so you can see him, so you can take his measure, and in this case, his weaknesses is his clients. A fourth question, you are just going to sit home and listen to broadcast and do nothing, telling yourself that sex trafficking is a problem for law enforcement. It has nothing to do with you. If the latter is your attitude, let me say this to you about sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is everyone's problem. Why? Because the next victim may be your niece, sister, cousin, or mother. Then what? Are you going to sit down in your living room and tell yourself, well, there was nothing I could do about the problem? Are you going to tell yourself, I have a house to run, I have a job? Just how many hours in a day do I have for myself? In this case, you need to be honest with yourself and just say you don't care. You're not interested in what happens to other people. You care more about the size of your buttocks and your breasts than anything else. If something does happen to your sister or niece, you will be the one crying the loudest in the funeral home, saying, oh God, why does this happen to me? In studying sex trafficking, one can be met with his or her own prejudice. People love to blame the victim. Well, she was asking for it by wearing her skirt too short. So a woman should be forced into sexual slavery because she wore her skirt too short. You are okay because you live a saintly life. You're not like the brazen women flooding the streets, flaunting their bodies. You are the holy one. You and God are best friends. So one thing you need to do is examine your prejudice. How often do you blame the victim? How often do you lie to yourself over your jealousy of another woman's body? Secondly, how much information do you actually know about yourself? And how much information do you know about sex trafficking? When I say just how much information do you know about yourself, I mean, why do you not participate in life? Why is it the only thing you can contribute to the day is gossiping at work or going to church to work as an usher? May I suggest that the only reason why you do not participate in civic events is because you are hiding because you can't read and you lack social skills. You have been swimming in the same pond for years because you cannot compete. That in the past 20 years you have not obtained any more useful information than you had when you graduated from high school. You are a poor reader and you have not collected any new information, any knowledge in the past decades. See, sex traffickers can be defeated, but women have to make up their minds they have had enough and take the fight to them. Women have to make up their mind that they have to change in order to fight this new threat to our existence. Yes, sex traffickers are threatening our life. They threaten the way that we live. They threaten to change our environment. They threaten to change our world if we don't stop them. A decision has to be made how the sex traffickers are going to be fought. Also, you must decide how ruthless you are going to be in fighting this evilness. Yes, I said the word ruthless. Because remember, in the art of war, it says, once you have secured the battlefield, you must massacre the enemy, lest he get up again. So, do we want these sex traffickers arrested and prosecuted? Are the current laws sufficient to punish these people? How long do we want them in jail? Or do we want them executed? Do you think that you can rehabilitate anyone who forces a child into sex slavery? Now, leaving the problem for someone else is an assumption. You are assuming that someone else is going to solve the problem. It is always your assumption that leads you astray, because now we have over 75,000 black females missing in this country and there is no outcry. Think of the lives being lost every day. A child or a woman is being destroyed and we're not doing anything about it. We're leaving the problem for someone else. This is not right. It is time for us to change. It is time for people to become involved. It is time for women to stand up and defend ourselves and others. I have spent hours trying to think of what to say to you to get you involved. The world can be changed. There is room enough for you to live the life that you want, but you must stand up. You will be happier. Maybe you are a woman who is sitting at home lonely. Why continue to be lonely? Come join us. Meet someone new. Meet someone who has a different outlook on life than you. Meet someone that knows more than you. Meet someone who sets an example that you can follow. I'm going to repeat several broadcasts, hoping that some of the things that I have said will help you realize it is time to change. Consider this. Are you not tired of being a grifter, a con artist, preying on people weaker than you? Are you not tired of avoiding reality, refusing to attend to anything unpleasant? Are you not tired of your fantasies that you construct in your life? If you are tired, then it's time for you to change. Being unhappy with your life is not rocket science. If you are sick and tired, then change. When a person does not change or refuses to change, it affects others around him or her. And in this case, it affects your children. Children lead miserable lives when their parents refuse to change. How long are you going to continue to play make-believe? You can make changes in your life. Why not start by joining us and contributing to the downfall of the men and women who sex traffic people? These petite people deserve to be in prison or worse. Here are some of the helpful thoughts to help you consider change. Now, this is how you know you need to change. You have had the same friends for the past 10, 15, or 20 years. You wear your hair in the same style you wore in high school. You eat the same food that you ate last year. You can't speak a foreign language. You got a son in prison. Your daughters are prostituting. Your husband divorced you. Your wife divorced you. Your children keep running away from home. You raise a son like the Frankenstein monster. He is the school's worst bully. Your children are always being expelled from school. Every week or two, you bring a new man to your home. He stays with you until he can find a better situation. He returns monthly to borrow money. Finally, he drifts off and another man takes his place for your son to call him daddy. You have just been released from prison because you were muling drugs for your boyfriend. Yes, these are all signs that you need to change. You are 40 years old and you do not have a college degree, nor do you have an associate's degree. You have 5 children and no husband. Your grandchildren are in foster care. Son and daughter are both in prison. The factory just told you that they're laying everyone off and you do not have a savings. You have no discernible skill or trade. You have been working as a waitress for the last 20 years. You can't complete a job application without help. Some of your very good friends have stopped coming around. You have not seen them in years. Wonder why? Maybe it's because you stopped growing. Your sister-in-law frowns every time you come around. She does not want your children associating with her children. She doesn't even want your children to call her children cousins. Your brother does not even smile when you come around. You are tired of your husband calling you stupid, telling you only thing you're good enough for is keeping house. You are no longer good in bed. Your husband makes no mention of the paycheck that you bring home every week. You are tired of your husband telling you that he is ashamed of you. That's why he does not take you to any office parties and forces you to stay home while he goes out and have fun. You have finally stopped telling everyone the lie that you're going to go back to school. You just found out that your husband has a girlfriend, that he has been salting the money away, spending it on her, while you at home and neglect yourself trying to save money. All of these situations that I listed above suggest there is a management problem in your life. You do not know how to manage your life. And apparently, you have not learned from your failures. You do not take advice well. You are not very observant to notice what other people your age are doing. Your inner voice is working overtime, enslaving you with fear. You need a makeover from inside and out. I have got to get you to understand that nothing changes unless you change it. Yes, the problem you are having is that you are not managing your life correctly. You do not have a plan, nor are you exercising a follow through. You are not persistent. You are not committed to yourself. You are flying all over the place, following trend after trend after trend. You are conducting your life based on what you think will impress people, based on what you think will get you a man, based on what you think people will like you for. It's time for you to take stock of yourself. It is time for you to take control of your life. It's time for you to evaluate what you say to yourself every day. That's right, your internal conversation needs to be reevaluated. It's time for you to give yourself a fresh start. I don't care how old you are, you can begin again. The word manage is a verb. It means to direct. Let me say it again. The word manage means to direct. So you are mismanaging your life. You are not directing yourself. You do not have clear-cut goals. You do not have a clear and distinct plan. You lack follow-through. You do not have a set of short-term and long-term goals. Mismanagement leads to chaos. It leads to confusion. It leads to depression. It leads to suicidal thoughts. It leads you to drink or to use drugs. It leads you to give up. Therefore, to avoid all of these ill-fated circumstances, you must learn how to manage your life. Yes, it will be difficult, but you can do it. How do we learn? We seek knowledge from a book. Read how others change their life. Michelle Obama just published a book this year regarding her life. She tells people how she solved problems when they presented themselves to her. Consequently, if you read her book, you'll learn how she solved her problems. Do you notice how we are always coming back to the need for knowledge? And the need for knowledge always takes you back to reading. You must read, and if you do not read, you must learn to read. Malcolm X said that if you are not educated, you can forget the future. Management means long-term and short-term goals. You need to make these plans to help bring balance into your life. This will help you maintain your focus. We have a session during our Saturday meetings called Role Discussion and What I Found in My Closet, where women stand up and say what happened to them and how they solved these various problems in their life. If you attend our Saturday meetings, you might meet some women at the meetings who can tell you how to fix your husband. They can tell you what they did when they found out their husband was cheating, how they found the hidden money, how they found out how many raises he actually got at work and was not telling. They found out who was filing the actual income tax return. They found out how much stock he had. If you attend our meetings, you might meet someone at the meeting to tell you how to find a better job. Women from all walks of life attend the meeting, so you have no idea who you might encounter. Stop being scared, step out. Granted, many of us are damaged. Some of us were damaged early in childhood. Some of us was damaged after we started dating. Some of us was damaged in high school. Some of us were damaged after the first love affair. But we can overcome these damages and we can live a better life. Other women have changed their life for the better. Why not you? This is why we advocate that you read the series Women of Courage. These are life changing books. You will not be the same after reading part 1 and part 2 and completing the workbook. Remember, you're not the only damaged person in the world. Many people are fighting to overcome the pain and the abuse that they experience, and many of them are winning. So can you. So what if you have had a hysterectomy or your breasts are missing? Life is not over until you give up. Please note, you will gain something from attending these meetings. You help society and society will help you. Now, there's no reason for you to feel bad. Stop beating yourself up. No one is perfect. Everyone makes errors. All you have to do is stand up. Remember, everyone makes a mistake. Now you can correct some of those mistakes. And the first mistake you need to correct is to get the money. Your husband is planning on starting new with the money he's been salting away. So you might as well beat him to the punch and start anew with the money he saved. You don't care about his girlfriend. What you care about is the money. You are after the money. You need it. Desperate times require desperate measures. Let's see if you can put a smile back on your face. It's time to wake up. It's time to start anew. What I am saying is it's time for you to stop crying. It's time for you to stop begging. It's time for you to stop pleading. It's time for you to change. Yes, your pain is real. Yes, you have been violated. Yes, you've been mistreated. But that does not mean it is not time to change. It is time for you to learn to live with yourself. It is time for you to be happy with yourself. It's time for you to push society aside so you can live. You must stop your internal dialogue from enslaving you, from preventing you to finding new meaning in your life, preventing you from finding happiness. God did not give you life for you to spend all your time in church. He gave you life so you can find happiness where you are. All of these behaviors require change. What you must see is that change is just an expansive universe. All options are possible. Your going to the moon is possible. Your being a tennis star is possible. Your being a ballerina is possible. The doors of the world are open to you. All you have to do is extend your hand and push the door open. Women have done this before you, so can you. Women who have wanted to be rodeo champions have pushed the door open to success. Women who have wanted to be actresses, lawyers, dress designers have pushed the door open to success. There is nothing that you cannot do if you put your mind to it. You need to do two things. You need to keep encouraging yourself, and you need to get rid of all the negative people in your life that keep telling you that your success is not possible. There was a lady whose daughter was killed in the hospital. The lady knew her daughter was killed, but no one would listen to her. Determined to prove that her daughter was killed, the woman went back to school. She graduated. She pursued a career in nursing. Once as a nurse, she went back to work in that hospital and she proved that her daughter was killed in that local hospital. There's another woman who lost everything she had. She lost all her money and she lost her house. She lost thousands of dollars when her house was foreclosed because every month when she was working doing good, she was paying 2 house notes instead of 1. After her house was foreclosed, she became undeterred. This woman made up her mind she was going to start again. Everyone said she was through. The banks and mortgage companies do not want to talk to you when you are no longer working or doing good. First thing they tell you is, no, we can't finance another house for you. So as far as they were concerned, she was too old to purchase another home. All right, she began to work 7 days a week. She worked this way for 6 straight years. She did not miss a day at work for 6 years. She worked 7 days a week. She worked a regular job Monday through Friday, and she worked Saturday and Sunday at another job. She worked a 10-hour day. In the 6th year of her working, she went and bought another house. Okay, I forgot something. A year after she lost her home, after her house was foreclosed, she went to work working 7 days a week, 14 hours a day. She saved her money, found a house for a land contract. She put, I think, like $15,000 down on that house. She purchased a land contract. So that meant she had 5 years to either fulfill that land contract or get somebody to finance that house for her. Well, like I said, she went back to work working 7 days a week. And in the 6th year, she went and bought another home and she got the home financed. So why they financed her house? Because she had money in the bank. You do not let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do. The only person in control of you is you. When you tell yourself that it will not work, that's not worth the effort, or there's something that you desire really isn't worth working for, then you have controlled the situation. If you tell yourself that what you desire is not worth working or striving for, you are saying to yourself what you're pining for is not worth the effort to change. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now for my break.
Hi, I'm Kerry Hines from HairRadio.com, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to our next installment of Hair Nation Expo Live 2019. It's the largest African American themed live hair show in the Northeast. It's being held over 3 big days. That's Saturday, May 4th, 2019, Sunday, May 5th, 2019, and Monday, May 6th, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Monday from 10 a.m. to 5 at the world-famous Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. It's a live hair and beauty show that features the best in education. Performances, hair and beauty demonstrations, competitions, 2 stage areas, and shopping on our large exhibition floor. We have a full bar with our own drink specials and VIP areas. We also have our own exclusive Hair Nation Expo check-in counter where you present your admission ticket for the event. What's great about Hair Nation Expo 2019 is that there's so much to do in Atlantic City. The Showboat Hotel is located right on the boardwalk and at the water. It's footsteps away from amusement rides, restaurants, casinos, and so much more. Now, if you are a vendor, buy your booth or table early while prices are low. You get a standard 10 by 10 space with much more room for you to make money at Hair Nation Expo 2019. So you want to call us right away to reserve your space. Our phone number is 1-800-379-0748. Once again, that's 1-800-379-0748. Now, sponsors, you get much more back from your investment into one of the largest African American trade shows in our country. So there's so much that you're going to earn back just from making a simple investment. Now, for more information, go to our website at hairnationexpo.biz. That's .biz. call us at 1-800-379-0748. Now remember, parking, we have a great parking price at just $12 for self-parkers, and if you are interested in valet parking, it's only $15, and that's an all-day rate. Now, to our amazing show visitors, remember, you do not have to be a professional in the hair or beauty industry to attend Hair Nation Expo 2019. Buy your ticket early, get it as low as $30 in advance, or you'll pay up to $55 at the door. Remember, $99 will cover you for all 3 days of admission into the Hair Nation Expo event. What do you get for the amazing low admission price? Well, you get many free classes and an opportunity to network with the very best. Don't forget to ask us about VIP pricing. Remember, we do have VIP pricing, and we have VIP spacing, so spaces for you to have a great time. So do keep that in mind. Now, we cannot wait to see you on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's May 4th, May 5th, and May 6th, 2019 at Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm Carrie Hines. Remember to visit our website again at www.hairnationexpo.biz. B-I-Z. Thank you. We'll see you there.
We live in a society that has created an impression that a woman is limited in what she can do. The society lets you see yourself as a weaker human who should not aspire to greater things. Most of us grew up with that mentality and thus turned out to be unambitious. Good news is there are lots of women out there just like you who have turned their lives around dramatically. There's one underlying factor common to all these women: courage. They were courageous in the face of societal intimidation. They were courageous enough to move against societal norms that were unacceptable to them. They were courageous when it mattered most, thus writing their names in the sands of time. Reading the series Women of Courage is a good place to learn about the significant role courage plays in achieving great things in life.
This right here, this is the moment right before the day starts when you get to look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. Now, you've been through some dark days. I believe that. But all that pain and struggle, that made the person you're looking at now. So when you walk out of these doors today, I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to believe you are the strongest person walking this planet. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the grind it took for you to be here. So when you leave here today, I need you to show them.
Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there's nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. For more information on our books or subjects discussed, email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
Modern history is written on the back of women who chose not to conform. Our history books are littered with examples of powerful women like Rosa Parks, Malala Yousafzai, and the Triangle Shirtwaist factory workers. But for every tale of a woman's success and perseverance, there is a harrowing backstory of tribulation and strife. Things are better now, we say. It's not like it used to be. But turn on the news. Turn on the news in your own city. Turn on the international news. Women are suffering from the restrictive society in Saudi Arabia to your own neighborhood. It's better, but ask yourself, is it good enough? Women of Courage tells a tale of women, from the harrowing story of early women to their victorious perseverance. It tells tales that have not been told enough, examples of how women have the strength to put their foot down and map their own future. Read their stories and become better equipped to write your own story by changing your behavior and becoming a woman of courage.
We live in a society that has created an impression that a woman is limited in what she can do. The society lets you see yourself as a weaker human who should not aspire to greater things. Most of us grew up with that mentality and thus turned out to be unambitious. Good news is there are a lot of women out there, just like you, who have turned their lives around dramatically. Women like Mother Teresa, Lucy Burns, and Rosa Parks. There's one underlying factor common to all these women: courage. They were courageous in the face of societal intimidation. They were courageous enough to move against societal norms that were unacceptable to them. They were courageous when it mattered, most thus writing their standards in the sands of time. Purchase the Women of Courage series today at http://touchedbythelight.us or mail a check to P.O. Box 7267, Ann Arbor, Michigan 48107.
The best time to be a woman. Hello, my name is Gloria Lee, and I am the author of the Women of Courage series. This is one book you need to read to understand the paradigm shift taking place in our world right now. Take a long look at the world a few years ago, and you'll discover this hasn't always been the case. Have you ever been bothered about why women are left out of various leadership positions, even with their extended contributions? What about the preposterous society's perception of a woman as a substance, one that has nothing to offer other than her body and household responsibilities? This has been our story for years, and women continue to be marginalized, objectified, and silenced. Our society continues to relegate women to the background and accord men the responsibility of building our world and shaping our future. Nevertheless, something is happening to women all around the world right now. Our voices are being heard. Our relevance is being woven into the hearts of society. We are becoming unforgettable, undeniable, and unbeatable. We are fighting back. There never has been a better time to be a woman than now. In the book, Women of Courage, you will discover what it takes to, 1, break the culture of silence to defy the stereotype that have limited women's abilities, to refuse to be defined as less capable than men, to actualize your dreams and potentials, to fight and win against segregation, discrimination, and subjugation. And finally, you'll know how to build resilience and determination. Through this book, you'll delve into the minds of women that have conquered and gained inspiration to live a complete and fulfilling life. The book, Women of Courage, details how women were able to pull it off, living life on their terms, and how you can too. Get a copy and you'll understand how you can build and exercise courage no matter the point you are in life. Above all, you'll build a network that connects you with like-minded women on the same mission. This book is a must-have for the 21st century woman. You can get your copy at touchedbythelight.us. I thank you for listening to me.
We live in a society that has created an impression that a woman is limited in what she can do. The society lets you see yourself as a weaker human who should not aspire to greater things. Most of us grew up with that mentality and thus turned out to be unambitious. Good news is there are lots of women out there just like you who have turned their lives around dramatically. There's one underlying factor common to all these women: courage. They were courageous in the face of societal intimidation. They were courageous enough to move against societal norms that were unacceptable to them. They were courageous when it mattered most, thus writing their names in the sands of time. Reading the series Women of Courage is a good place to learn about the significant role courage plays in achieving great things in life.
Hi, I'm Carrie Hines from hairradio.com, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to our next installment of Hair Nation Expo Live 2019. It's the largest African-American themed live hair show in the Northeast. It's being held over 3 big days. That's Saturday, May 4th, 2019, Sunday, May 5th, 2019, and Monday, May 6th, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Monday from 10 a.m. to 5 at the world-famous Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. It's a live hair and beauty show that features the best in education. Performances, hair and beauty demonstrations, competitions, 2-stage areas, and shopping on our large exhibition floor. We have a full bar with our own drink specials and VIP areas. We also have our own exclusive Hair Nation Expo check-in counter where you present your admission ticket for the event. What's great about Hair Nation Expo 2019 is that there's so much to do in Atlantic City. The Showboat Hotel is located right on the boardwalk and at the water. It's footsteps away from amusement rides, restaurants, casinos, and so much more. Now, if you are a vendor, buy your booth or table early while prices are low. You get a standard 10 by 10 space with much more room for you to make money at Hair Nation Expo 2019. So you want to call us right away to reserve your space. Our phone number is 1-800-379-0748. Once again, that's 1-800-379-0748. Now, sponsors, you get much more back from your investment into one of the largest African American trade shows in our country. So there's so much that you're going to earn back just from making a simple investment. Now, for more information, go to our website at hairnationexpo.biz. That's .biz. Call us at 1-800-379 0748. Now remember parking, we have a great parking price at just $12 for self-parkers, and if you are interested in valet parking, it's only $15, and that's an all-day rate. Now, to our amazing show visitors, remember you do not have to be a professional in the hair or beauty industry to attend Hair Nation Expo 2019. Buy your ticket early, get it as low as $30 in advance, or you'll pay up to $55 at the door. Remember, $99 will cover you for all 3 days of admission into the Hair Nation Expo event. What do you get for the amazing low admission price? Well, you get many free classes and an opportunity to network with the very best. Don't forget to ask us about VIP pricing. Remember, we do have VIP pricing, and we have VIP spacing, so spaces for you to have a great time. So do keep that in mind. Now, we cannot wait to see you on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's May 4th, May 5th, and May 6th, 2019 at Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm Carrie Hines. Remember to visit our website again at www.hairnationexpo.biz. B-I-Z. Thank you. We'll see you there.
This right here, this is the moment right before the day starts when you get to look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. Now, you've been through some dark days. I believe that. But all that pain and struggle, that made the person you're looking at now. So when you walk out of these doors today, I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to believe you are the strongest person walking this planet. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the grind it took for you to be here. So when you leave here today, I need you to show them.
Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there's nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. For more information on our books or subjects discussed, email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
Modern history is written on the back of women who chose not to conform. Our history books are littered with examples of powerful women like Rosa Parks, Malala Yousafzai, and the Triangle Shirtwaist factory workers. But for every tale of a woman's success and perseverance, there is a harrowing backstory of tribulation and strife. Things are better now, we say. It's not like it used to be. But turn on the news. Turn on the news in your own city. Turn on the international news. Women are suffering from the restrictive society in Saudi Arabia to your own neighborhood. It's better, but ask yourself, is it good enough? Women of Courage tells a tale of women, from the harrowing story of early women to their victorious perseverance. It tells tales that have not been told enough, examples of how women have the strength to put their foot down and map their own future. Read their stories and become better equipped to write your own story by changing your behavior and becoming a woman of courage.
Why You Must Read The Women of Courage, Part 1. That women and children constitute the largest part of the most vulnerable in our society is well beyond doubt. Even with the spate of civilization, women's position in the society still leaves much to desire. Is it the endless and numerous crimes against womanhood all over the world? Or the preposterous society's perception of a woman as a substance, one that has nothing to offer than her body and household responsibilities? The fact is, we have been enthralled for too long, and our silence has become totally unreasonable. As a woman, have you ever asked yourself why the society views you as a lesser being to a man? Have you ever wondered why only a few women are in the history books, even though the contrary is the case? Have you ever been bothered about why women are left out of various leadership positions, even with their extensive contributions? Well, the answer is a no-brainer. Women are very powerful beings. The strength we exude in carrying out our daily lives, even with the way society frowns at us, is seen as a threat to the domineering nature of men in society, and as such, discriminating, segregating, and subjugating us in every facet of society is seen as the key to limiting our power. This is the reality we have had to live with, but it's time this changes, don't you think? Will you prefer to continue to remain silent and continue to strive through this great inhumanity? Or fight for the elevation of your rights and that of the oncoming female generations? The book Women of Courage was written as a means of proffering detailed answers to the questions above and much more. In this book, you will read about how females of different ages, statuses, and colors took courage to live exemplary lives, even though most of them were of humble background. Most of the book talks about the life travails of over 700 women who displayed courage in actualizing not only their dreams and ensuring that women are recognized in America. You will read of how Rosa Parks and other women stood up and fought for the liberation of Black women. You will also learn about how Miss Paul, Lucy Barnes, and several other women ensured the passage of the famous 19th Amendment. You will also read about how different women had to go through trauma and agony to fight for justice. The Women of Courage aims to inspire every woman, regardless of age, color, or status, of the need to rise and fight for our rights. Most importantly, the book seeks to expand our understanding of the violence against women and children in America and all over the world, as well as how to put an end to it once and for all. By reading the 500-page book, you will be correcting the notion that women are poor readers. And like Rufus Choate, 1799 to 1859, said, "Happy is he who has laid up in his youth and held fast in all fortune a genuine and passionate love of reading." Twice a month, on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there's nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. For more information on our books or subjects discussed, email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
We enjoy your listening to the Women of Courage show at WHPR every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. And we support your local hairstylist. Do not forget to go to touchedbythelight.us website and download a copy of the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. This is very important information, and we would appreciate it if you email a copy of this booklet to 5 other women. We are trying to reach 1 million people with this booklet. Help us reach our goal. Your emailing this booklet to another woman can help save a life. Thank you. Recovering your life from foreclosure, bankruptcy, divorce, or other personal tragedies is not easy, but you must believe. You may be wounded, broken, battered, and hurt by life, but you must stand up and fight. People often say, when you're going through hell, never give up. It's easy for someone to say this, but talk is cheap. But you are in a place where every turn you take you are met with a challenge or trouble, one thing after another. I'm not here to simply tell you not to give up. I understand what it means to be going through what you're going through right now. I step on a cement floor being bitten by spiders to survive. However, I'm here to tell you that change is possible. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but you must hang on and do as I tell you. Yes, change is possible. I want you to hope and to believe against even all evidence. Despair is no respecter of status. It is no respecter of age, background, gender, or color. Somewhere right now there is a child crying, a man high on drugs, a mother dancing in a club just to pay her bills. Somewhere right now out there is a person heartbroken, a loss of a dear one, a failed promise of love. Somewhere out there is a person clothed in rags, without a home, without affection, and without a family, and without love. Somewhere right now, someone out there is broken, going through a rough time. I say unto you, hold on, stand fast. You can restore and recover your life. You must believe that you are worth fighting for, regardless of what the world says. When I lost everything and had to live in my car, I had a person to forecast gloom and doom into my life. She said the only person in the world that I loved would desert me. This did not happen. When a doctor punched a hole in my heart and sewn me back up, I bled inside my chest cavity for 7 days. I did not die. God sent me an angel to help me. When cancer visited me, I did not die. God sent me an angel to stand by me. I still have both these friends today. They have seen the best of me and the worst of me. I say unto you, believe and stand fast. Help is on the way. In closing, remember, when you read and learn with your child, the entire family benefits. Let us see how strong you are to honestly work with your child to improve the entire family. Have the courage to say to your child, I do not know, but I will find out for you. Let us see how emotionally strong you are to honestly work on a problem with your child. Saying I do not know is a courage, not a weakness. Have the courage to say I do not know, then go and ask a librarian to help you. Your child will learn his or her self-esteem and self-confidence from you. When you ask for help, it lets your child know there is no weakness in asking for help to obtain knowledge. Everyone in his or her lifetime will have to ask for help from someone. Your child will learn from your flexibility and courage. You can get more information on Women of Courage at touchedbythelight.us. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage. We can be reached at murderedvoices@gmail.com. God bless, and remember, believe in yourself and stand up. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage, and have a great day.